everybody, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Maintenance Monday. Today on the bench we have the XMaxx Ultimate. You can see there on the side of the truck. We did a little damage to it, as I showed in the other video. You can see here the A-arm in the back got broken. I think the drive shaft is fine, just put back into the pocket there. So we're going to be fixing that today. The part today we're going to be fixing it with is 7731 from Traxxas. Just to put a stock one right back on it. And we're going to get that going right now. So we'll get the body off here and get a better view of what's going on. Set the body over here. There you can see from a little bit of a top view. We kind of broke that puppy right off. See right down there. It came out of the hub, and the truck's a little bit dirty as well. One of the things again about Maintenance Monday, if you guys haven't seen any of those videos before, grab your favorite beverage, grab your RC car, what you've been doing over the weekend with it, and let's work on it together. So with this one, we're gonna pull out the batteries, since we don't need those in here anymore. Make it a little bit easier to move the truck around. Pull out the other battery here. I do need to wash this thing, and the mud flying everywhere. Every time I do something with it, mud just goes all over the place. So we'll pull those batteries out. Perfect. You see there again is an Ultimate. Got all those beautiful blue parts since it was a blue one. Very nice. All right, we'll get you guys set up on the stand here, and let's start taking this truck apart. All right, you can see from the top down, and as you can see, I've donned the bright lizard green gloves. Get the keep the hands from getting too caked on. Protect the skin. So we'll get this tire off. This is a 17. You guys are curious about that size-wise there on the XMaxx. It's 17 millimeter. For those of you across the pond, pull this thing right off maybe. There we go. It was stuck right on there. See here, this is the hub. These are the stock wheels for the XMaxx. See the hub there. We'll set that off to the side. Get back to that. And then we got the nut stuck in the 17 millimeter. So we'll grab ourselves a tool here and maybe pop that thing out. Maybe. Hey fellow RCers, at this point in the video I'm going to break in because I realized I have no idea exactly what I'm missing, except for I don't have the pins, or you're going to see the screws going through here. So as you can see, I'm realizing that I don't have all the parts, and then I have to go find the owner's manual and move things around. So this clip is going to be shortened down because it's just me realizing that I don't have all the parts I need. It pays to have all the parts you need. Make sure you do the research, look at the owner's manual, order the right number of parts, or go to your local hobby store and pick those parts up, and then you'll be good to go. So this clip will be a little bit shorter. We'll get back to it, and I'll start showing the next section in a minute. Well guys, looks like we're going to be putting this together a bit later. We have part number, you can probably see here, 77, and that's 40. And then it also requires part number 25, I believe that's 76, which is a tiny little screw that holds the little pin in place. And apparently I wasn't smart enough when I ordered this to get that pin when I picked it up. So I'm going to be heading back to the store. Rookie mistake, as usual, another rookie move. So we'll get those parts ordered, get this thing back on the bench, and get it fixed up. All right, well, we're back after that short break, and then we've got the actual pieces that we need. So if you break this lower arm here, which again is the Traxxas part number 7731, you also need pins and screws that go into that same spot. And so the pin and screw were destroyed or disappeared on the battlefield somewhere. So we'll go over here. This is what we got, 7740 are the pins, and of course, being Traxxas, you can't just buy one, so you got all those different pins. And then you've got the 2576. That number there is for the screws. And what ends up happening is the pin will slide through that notch right there, as you can see right down there, And right there, you will screw the screw in, and the screw head will hold the pin in. Very interesting design for something that's called the Ultimate. But hey, it is what it is. So we will get you guys set up on the tripod here, and we will get back to work replacing this arm. All right, there we are. And as you can see here, even the top pin has been, of this device right here has been pulled out. So we're gonna have to pull that out, and of course there's a screw holding it in as well, so you can't push it out that direction. So we grab a screwdriver here that we think is the right size, and that is definitely not the right size. Get one a little bigger. There we go. I'm gonna unscrew this one. And pull this. Oh, there it goes. Make sure we grab that here and set it off to the side so we don't lose it. That's the last thing we want to do is lose more parts. Okay. And then we'll push this. Maybe we'll push this pin back. There we go. Slowly but surely. All right. And then, so there's the pin. There's one of the pins right there. You can see, and it looks actually down the barrel there, it looks pretty straight. I'll check it out a little bit more too, but another way to tell is if you take it and roll it along, and it's rolling pretty smooth right there. It's not very bent. We'll see if we need to replace it or not. Set it off to the side with the screw. So we'll take what's called the dog bone out there, and the Ultimate piece here, which is just an aluminum hub. Very nice, very beefy. Set that one off to the side. Pencil out of the way. Okay, and I think this is just going to be annoying for us as we get that bottom A-arm out there. Let's get the shock disconnected. And I'm catching a theme here. I'm gonna clean off a lot of the dirt that's caked into this thing. We will spin you around, and as you can see, right here is another screw. That's where my finger is right there. There's another screw right there that holds another pin in for the shock. So they really got this whole idea of holding a pin in with a screw, which is one of the reasons they give you all these different size pins and the different screws. So we'll spin back around here, get you guys all set up. Okay, so let's get that shock off. There we go. Okay. Oh, hang on a second. All right, we're back. Sorry about that little quick thing. Had to get my cup of joe going. All right, so continue to pull this screw off back here out of the way. And this is a smaller screw than what comes with the kit number that I showed you. So we're gonna put this one over here. I probably won't remember all this, but hey, it's worth a shot. And then you take your poker and you, of course that's too big, so I get a smaller one. This will be very interesting because these holes are, to just push this pin through, work its way out. Okay, there we go. Screwdriver's stuck now. There we go. And we pull this pin. All right, so shock on the right, upper arm on the left. Remember that. Remember that when I go to put this back together again and I can't figure out which one's which. Okay, so this one's out of the way. Now we can disconnect the shock. All right, so pull that out of the way. Clean that. Man, that shock is beefy. Look at the size of that thing. Okay, and if I was smart, I would have used the tire. So we'll pick this thing up. And we'll put the tire down over here to kind of hold it up off the bench. All right, take the body off here real quick. Don't need that where we're going. And the shock and the A-arm out of the way. And you can see right here and right here, this is the big thing here is where it's connected. And you can see again another screw and another pin we got to push all the way through there. So hopefully it's the same, still screws are the same size. So we'll get in here and pull those out. All right. Okay, this one looks to be, this one actually is, oops, I need to bump the camera there, sorry guys. This is the piece here. The other screw got to cape out, which is the same size as what comes in the little toolbox. So we'll put it over here on the left, so we don't lose it. And then we're gonna need to figure out if we can push this pin out. And hopefully you all can see this. We'll get you down in there. Try to adjust without stopping the video. There we go. So at the base, as you go all the way back here, this is the where my right here is where the pin in, and we'll try to find the hole because it's awfully muddy, and then we're gonna give it a push and see if we can't get that pin to come out. It really comes out one way. It comes out the direction of that screw. Grab the flashlight here so I can see. Make sure we're pushing on the actual pin itself. Okay, well that's interesting. There's also a screw on this side, but if you push the pin out this direction, it's going to hit the frame. So I'm just going to give it a push. There we go. Now we're starting to move. There. All right. You can see kind of right here where the pin is actually starting to come out. I'm going to gently grab that with a pair of pliers and see if I can just feed it out nice and gently without marring anything, scratching anything. Oh yeah, it's easy. Once it gets moving, it's pretty easy. Now, I left the screw in on this side, so when I push this back in and it'll bump up against that screw that's already in there, it'll hold. So, put this over here. And it's not bent. I'm rolling it around on the table. It's not bent at all. Perfect. Now, for the moment of truth, can we get this thing off? Oh, look at that. And there we go. There we have the piece. You can see there it's all busted up. Completely broken apart. Pretty good engineering. Pretty thick plastic though. Still got the mud on there. Okay, I'll put this on the side because we don't end up getting rid of that piece. I'm gonna do some cleanup here. Some of this dirt and grime out of the. It is amazing in these RC cars where you will find dirt and grime. They say they're waterproof and they're all this stuff, but it is amazing where stuff ends up. We probably end up having to take the whole thing apart to get it all out of there. But I just want to make it so that we've got new pieces rubbing on new without a bunch of debris in the way. The more I tap on it, the more that comes out. That'll be a never-ending battle there. Hold this. Oh, look at that. You guys can just see this. I actually got the shock absorber to hold the upper arm out of the way. That brilliance. All right, so we'll put this back. Now we're going to grab the piece that we need. And that's this guy here. And you can, just to compare real quick, probably pretty obvious, but this is the piece, and this is the brand new piece. The piece is broken. And you can see that took off the thick section over here, which I thought was kind of amazing. Broke it right off, right at the joint. All right, so let's get the new piece on. Get this thing back together again so we can start running it again. Okay, now comes the fun part. Oh, you know what I think is funny? So, how smart I am, right? I left that screw in so I could push could push the bar back in, and look what is on the piece I'm throwing away. You know, some of the times paying attention to details, it's a good thing to pay attention to details and be detail oriented, and other times it's not to be detail oriented. So, hold on just one second. Okay, now we got this piece. This is the bar that goes back in that we took out earlier, and we roll it on the table. It's completely flat. There's no bending in it at all, so it's perfectly good to put it back in place. As they say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So one of the things we need to do, as you can see here, is insert the screw back into this particular hole that allows the pin to slide all the way through and then bump up against that screw head there. And then when we're done with that, we'll put a screw in on this side and hold it in. So it's basically held in by two screws on both sides. Well, it's a very interesting design. So we'll grab the screw from before, and we're going to put that in here. Grab my size here, which doesn't have the actual size on it, so there we go. Screw that. Put that screw all the way in. It looks like it's actually pre-threaded, which is kind of nice. I don't feel like I'm cutting new thread, which is a good thing. Put this all the way in. Doesn't damage anything, doesn't hurt anything. And as you can see, this section here, when it goes into the car, it's a lot easier to do this outside of the vehicle. All right, that's that. They don't say anything about thread Loctite, thread tight type stuff, so we're not going to worry about that this time. We're going to go ahead and throw this new piece on. Now comes the fun part, trying to thread this bar back through a bunch of different holes and line everything up. So we'll get the opportunity to do that. That's always the fun part of this process. Oh, there we go. Oh, there we are. Grab the pliers and push it the last little bit of the way through. And we got that last section. Oh, there we go. All right. Got it all the way in. There it is. Going back and forth. Let's see, I'm pushing the car versus the pin itself. There we go. It doesn't go any further. And then I'm going to grab another screw here. Pop into our new bag of tricks. Again, that was number 2576. New screw. Get this out, maybe. There we go. Get it lined up. Put it in here. Get it lined up and get it rolling back into the section. There we go. We'll turn that down. It straightens itself out again. I think it's already threaded because I don't feel like I'm cutting new thread. It feels very easy to put into its spot. And it actually pushed that pin in even further, so I didn't have it in all the way. That's pretty cool. So that actually in, thread that in. It's plastic, I don't want to strip it out. But there we go. We got it running around. You can see here it's all with the end of my pencil screwdriver. Nice and easy, all the way in. Screws in there. It's going up and down very easy. Everything's flush. There's no binding going on at all, which is very, very good. All right, so now we're going to grab the shock off the top here, put this back down, and put the shock back in, which only fits one way. And then again, the shock for those of you remembering here, is held in by the pin. Clean that off, and again the pin, it's very flat, hasn't been bent at all, so we're going to put it right back into place. If we can get the shock. Wow, that was amazingly simple. I've not had that happen. Those holes usually don't line up that well. Okay, I'm gonna, whoops, drop that. Luckily it was right there. Move this out of the way, and then we're gonna drive this right on home. Get this guy out of our way too. We don't need that where we're going. This just screws right in. Nice and easy. Again, we don't want to over tighten. Perfect. We'll test the shock. Doesn't slide around, doesn't move around. Perfect. Okay. This guy's a little, looks like it's a little bent, but we'll see what happens when we put the screws back in. Okay, now next stage is grab our hub. Oh, and we also need to grab our the right size bar here out of the 7740 packet. So we'll open this up. Doesn't want to open, so we'll grab our trusty knife. Again, if you're using a knife, be very careful. Don't want to cut yourself. There we go. Put that out of the way. Take the knife out of the way. Grab our hub here. Get it ready to go. This is our long pin. Came out of the kit. It goes in back there. We don't need that right now. This is, I think this is the right size here. We're going to line it up. Looks like it's exactly the right length right through there. You can see that. I have no idea what size this one actually is. There's a bunch of stuff in the back of the package if you're so inclined. All right, so now what we're going to do, I'm going to make sure this dog bone gets set into the right spot in the axle. And then we're going to make sure that the pin down here in the bottom lines up and goes through. And it pushes all the way in. And we're going to grab this and push it in with our screwdriver. There we go. Now, thing to notice here, on this side, the pin, there's no screw. They just made the piece of plastic small enough that the pin bumps right up into it. So there's no screw on this side. Unlike the top portion where there's a screw on each side that holds the pin in, there's only one screw on this side that holds the pin in on this side. And again, that screw was lost in the quote-unquote accident that we had with the vehicle. So we're going to grab one out of our 2576 package. And we're going to drive that puppy home to hold our new pin in place. So line that up and then just start putting it in. There we go. Sorry for the sniffles. I've got a fighting a little bit of a cold tonight. Get this all the way in. So close. And almost there. And again, being plastic, don't want to over tighten. Perfect. So there we are. Now, we'll lift this back up and put it into the spot, and we'll get this top pin in, which we took out earlier. And again, this is that pin here that we took out earlier. And it's not, we'll get some dust off here. We'll roll it on our workbench. It's not bent in any way, shape, or form. So again, one of the ideas, if it's not broke, don't fix it. We're going to put it right back in here. So we'll push this through, and then we're going to line it up. Hopefully, oh yeah, look at that. And then we're going to line it up and push it all the way in. Then we're going to grab our screwdriver and give it a little bit of a push. Perfect, all the way in. And again, you can see on this side, again, there's no pin here, or there's no screw here, sorry. The pin goes in, bumps against the plastic right here, and there's no screw on this side of the thing. So again, we're all pinned in. The axle's going up and down very nicely. Okay, We're going to grab our screw that's left over. We did not lose in the accident. Go ahead and get it put in here. Right back into place. Goes in very simply because it came out very simply. Rotating it in. And then tighten and a little bit of a turn. Perfect. There we go. Now we have that up and running, shocks up and running, pins in, screws in, pins in, screws in. I'll spin you guys around here so you can see what I'm talking about. These are the screws. The screw right here that I put in, and then right down here, the screw here that I put in. You can see that the screw head just barely covers the pin, keep it from backing out. You can see down here, just barely covers the pin, keeps it from backing out. Very interesting design. On this side, they went ahead and made the plastic mold itself smaller so the pin doesn't actually go through, but you can, as you can see here, you can push through that to push the pin out when you need to take it off, obviously. All right, the only thing left to do now is to grab this lug nut, put it off, grab our tire, and line this beefy thing up to the lug nut. Get it on correctly. Maybe. Maybe I need some glasses. There we go. We're so close. There we go. Perfect. And then as you can see here on the lug nuts, it'll focus maybe. You got your both sides, clear blue side, and the side with the little bit of rough on it that causes the pinch on it so it doesn't go away. We'll push this over a little bit so you can see and put it on. Get it lined up. Oops. All right, get this lined up and put on. And then these are 17 millimeter, so I actually went into my vehicle, my actual car socket set, and gonna be putting this thing on with a ratchet. And whoop, don't knock you guys over there. There we go. Perfect. And we are all set. As you can see right there, perfectly on that side, and everything's working great. So the next time you see this rig, it's going to be ripping up the dirt. Again, you get all the ultimate pieces on it. Appreciate everybody for tuning in to this week's Maintenance Monday. If you like the Maintenance Monday idea, give it a thumbs up. Where the idea behind this whole segment is that you can grab your RC car that you've been working on all weekend or been playing with all weekend. You need to clean it, maybe you need to do some maintenance on it, get it ready for the next run for the week, and we can work together on that. So let me know what you guys are doing with your RC cars over the weekend. Put them in the comments section below. Share some photos, share some comments, what you've been doing with your RC cars, and we'll work on them together on Monday. Hope everybody's having a great week. And this time this goes out, hope everyone's having a great new year. And then remember, life is better with donuts.